Now, where we last left off with our player characters, you had repelled the latest attack twofold, right? From within and by attacking from without. And I will say that everyone on the team manages to get back together in one group. So let's talk a little bit about what it's like. You are going to go ahead and get a short rest here. And Calder, I know Calder is, of course, running on fumes at this point. He has been casting his magic, but sorcerers are not meant for this kind of long-term engagement. And though the devil that spoke to him was unable to fully recharge him, Calder does notice that his Bloodwell vial has been refreshed. So that can be part of your short rest. So go ahead and take that short rest.
5 more sorcery points.
If you want to go ahead and spend hit dice, now is the time. And then let's talk a little bit about what everybody does as you get together at the gates.
Oh, come on.
I guess I can take some hit points.
That's almost good.
And I do my little thing to get my Froggle back.
I'm not wounded, but the use of the Bloodwell Vow requires me to spend only activates upon spending a hit die.
Really quick, while we're doing that, I want to say hi to some folks because, in the middle of a big scene, I don't want to say hi to folks. I noticed that we had a new follow, and I
need your help.
See that, and I see the Fishy is here also. It's been a while, Fishy. Very good to see you. And I love all of the discussion about trees and such. Very nice. Who was the new follow? I did not see. If you're a new follower, thank you very much for following. Sorry I didn't say your name. Grimwood, welcome. Thank you very much for being here.
It'll be in the credits at the end.
It will be in the credits at the end. That's true. That's also true. Thank you very much, Grimwood. Very glad that you're here. So let's talk a little bit about... Fishy, that is so outside of my area of expertise tonight, I'm afraid.
So you should roll initiative.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained. The worst thing that can happen is they say no, right? That's the worst possible. Well, I guess that's not the worst possible outcome. Some people can be cruel, but as far as you're concerned, the worst possible outcome is they say no and you move on with your life. So
I've never seen Kistrel in chat before. They're new.
Kistrel? Who the heck are you?
I was gonna say, speaking of relationships, during this short rest, as they're shoring up, getting a new beam for the door that they closed and all that, I think Echo would approach Sven and ask, so I know we're in the middle of a fight right now, but can I get some advice from you, Sven?
He looks a little bit confused, but he will continue to listen.
Yeah, so I know what, giving and getting an uncut gem means, in general, in, dwarven courting. It's a way to start dwarven courting. I know that much.
Yes.
That's about the extent of my knowledge of any dwarven courting. I know my 2 aunts in the circus, they're both dwarves, and they're very sweet, but, they eloped and ran away to the circus, so, that's not a good benchmark for, typical dwarven romance, I don't think.
Echo, you were correct when you said that we are not in particularly the right situation to be having this discussion. Perhaps getting to the point would be advantageous.
How does one say yes when you're given an uncut gem? Do you have to do something with the gem?
And he kind of squints at you and he says, "Why do you ask?"
From far away, Ghost is like, "Show the rock."
Thank you. Random mercenary I've hired. I'm Barnabas. And he pulls out the pouch and shows it to Sven. But Barnabas handed me that.
So
tonight.
Before he's able to rein in his expression, his expression gets very dark for a moment. And then he clearly masters himself. And he says, "Am I too ascertain that this was given to you by our king?
Yeah, he handed it to me like 5 minutes ago, like when we parted ways back there to go, risk our lives on the front line.
The usual response is to cut the gem, and if you are not able to do so, to find someone to stand for you who can. And that signifies that you are willing to go forward with some sort of courtship. I will say this to you. If you break my brother's heart, I will hunt you down.
And Echo puts the pouch back away.
You understand, of course, the implications. You are a goblin. You don't have a great deal of life expectancy.
How long do dwarven courtships usually last? Like, are we talking decades here?
Oh, I'm certain that an exception can be made in this case. But yes, in general, decades. Because we are creatures that live for centuries. I'm sure that things can be moved along in your case.
Sven, I'm flying fucking blind here. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, we've been flirting, and I thought, we'll just keep flirting, because, like, I love the guy, but he's a fucking king, and then he hands me this, and, like, I don't know anything about being a king, or a king's courtship partner, whatever the fucking, I don't know the word for it. Like,
the general nomenclature is consort.
Right? Like,
It will be a scandal, but King Boulder Shoulder has never been afraid of scandal. I think this is something we should discuss further when we're not under immediate danger of extinction.
That's kind of the feeling I had, but I also, like, didn't want to leave him just, like, without an answer. Like, is there a way to, without cutting the gem and committing to a courtship, is there a way to say, I'm interested, let me get back to you? That's not, like, super rude?
The cutting of the gem is not a marriage proposal. The cutting of a gem is simply I don't even know what I don't even know if there's an analog in goblin culture. It's simply
Sven, from the goblins I come from, don't get married. It's not a thing. like nuclear family units, and that's not a thing. I am flying very blind here.
It is simply cutting the gem is simply a sign that the feelings are reciprocated. It is not a binding agreement.
Okay, that is very helpful. Thank you. I hope you know that I wouldn't ever hurt him on purpose.
I know that you would not hurt him on purpose. And I know that no action of yours deliberately would cause him any grief. But I fear that... We are in a tenuous position, and courting a goblin... Unorthodox is far, far too weak a word.
I've never fucking thought to ask him this. I know he has cousins, and very far removed cousins. Does Barnabas have immediate family still alive? Like, parents?
He doesn't speak about it much intentionally. King Boulder Shoulder's parents perished. As far as I know, and as far as he knows, I am his only immediate family left.
Gotcha.
He is the younger by several years, but more suited to the position than I. And you sense a little bit, not bitterness about Boulder Shoulder or about Barnabas being the king, but more like concern over the well-being of a man that he is considering to be acting in a strange fashion. Yes?
I'm here to help you guys get your new home. If we can talk later, but if courting me puts that in jeopardy, then that's another thing to consider too.
And as you're having this conversation, once again, Nightscale makes another pass over the enemy army, sort of blasting them with his acid breath. And you kind of look up and see, because, I mean, he's a little bit tough to see, but when that acid breath is going, you can absolutely see him sort of reflected against the green glow of it. And in that moment, perhaps from a ballista or something on the ground, you see a spinning net projected up from the ground and tangle in Nightscale's wings as you're watching. And he roars over the battlefield as he sort of banks hard to the right, swirls down a little bit, sort of like spirals down a little bit, and then crashes onto the ground somewhere a little ways away, but you can tell where it was.
Oh shit, that's one of our most powerful allies, right? Fuck. Turns and sees that his ghost, like, right behind them has been listening this whole time.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, Ghost, the thing is, Ghost wasn't even being sneaky about it. He was just standing there.
We should go help the dragon. That
Ghost was like me, his ADHD, and was probably like voguing or some shit.
We maybe not just us, maybe everyone. Because we were holding the wall, and so we saw the push from the other side of the people come.
I will say that at this point, Calder and Kretha will be able to rejoin you, and you will have seen the capture of Nightscale as well from where you were. So let's go ahead and bring Calder and Kretha on in. Still, Kretha's still
back, right?
And Stinky is back as well because of the short rest.
Stinky. So
still looking like Sven.
Look like Sven. Yeah.
Like more magical Sven.
So
more
Sven,
magical Sven with the nice big fancy ass Durgadin crossbow on top of giant frog.
Here's a good question.
Every time that Stinky makes a jump now, she's going muddy step, muddy step, muddy step, because she's still having a fantastic time with that.
Here's a good question. Was Ghost informed that the dragon was like a friendship?
Yes. I mean, Echo just said out loud that's one of our most powerful allies as he goes spinning out of the air.
Okay, I feel like at that point, that's when Ghost goes, oh, so we're not doing the killing for that?
Not right now. Right now, we have allegiance with the dragon that just got downed.
We want that dragon alive and helping us.
So I have like these white dragon thing going on. It could be interesting to add some black, but okay.
So it's interesting. What's interesting is there are now multiple Barnabases and multiple Svens
right next to each other,
and the rank and file dwarves. Now that Sven and Sven are in the same spot,
you're a little easier to tell apart.
Clearly deferring to the Sven in the robes and the big hat.
Still wearing the belted dwarven kind.
That's the problem there.
So what do you all do?
Well, I mean, you guys saw Nightscale just get like taken out of the sky, right?
I'll be right back.
Asks
yes.
us we meet up. You okay, bud?
I am very tired.
We need to go. We need to. The dragon on the ground is a dead dragon eventually with this many orcs. We gotta go, right?
Yes.
Thank you for the hydrate, Fishy.
Echo starts pulling out brooms from the bag of holding. He's got two of them.
That's all you. No, thank you.
How far was it? Can we tell from watching him fall How far away he fell from like the walls?
He is far enough away to the point where Kreith is going to have to get on the damn broom. Unfortunately
There's another way.
Unfortunately for both her and Durgadin, who also is no fan of flying, as we've established several times. But yes, in order to in a timely fashion get to where Nightscale is downed, Kreith is just going to have to get on the broom.
Is this where we talk about the stupid idea of having Stinky take the flying potion?
I mean, yeah, so when he's pulling out the rooms, he's like, I also have a potion of flying. Like, dude, would that work better for you, Kreitha? I mean, Sven?
Okay, so real quick. You offer it to Kreitha and Ghost is just like sad boy eyes at it.
I mean, if you drank this, would you be able to carry her and Stinky? I don't know how.
I don't want to be carried.
I could do it. I could do it. Yes, that sounds like an excellent idea. We could come hurling in very quickly, directly at it, very fast. And
No. Can Stinky just like reach out and like eat it?
Like tongue grab it?
Yeah, seriously. Like Stinky being like the smart, intelligent, like emotionally grounded one of these three.
Yeah, so it's totally Yoshi like mlep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just right out of Echo's
And
hand.
now the potion's gone. It's been consumed.
I believe it lasts for an hour.
Glass vial and all.
Stinky now has a fly speed equal
to
his walk speed.
There's a little note in the corner of the HUD that says Ghost disliked that.
Ghost, would you like the other broom then? Now that that's been eaten?
Fine.
Okay. All right, so I guess we're leaving you two here. Gestures to real Sven and real Barnabas.
It is probably best. We will go be you for a while. You go be safe. Also, remember, I go ready.
We have an advantage sitting, thanks to Kistral. Thank you, Kistral.
Yes, we do. I'm also dropping Stinky into the chat so that, Jen, you can pick him up. And I'm going to drop him on the map. Okay, I am sharing the map with everybody. So, getting to Nightscale is super easy. Yeah, like you have to dodge some arrows here and there, but it's not a big deal. You're able to travel at sufficient height where like none of the archers are going to be able to get to you, and it is not.
Is that a frog?
It's a bird. It's a plane.
You've seen how frogs jump,
It's
right?
a dwarf on a frog.
One long jump for Stinky. So as he's doing this, his legs are just all spread out, and he is having the time of his life. And Kreitha is still going.
Kreitha's skirt is kind of like a cape on the back of Superman Stinky.
Yep.
So
she doesn't mind like jumping and stuff, but this is definitely not in her bailiwick.
So you're able to approach. I'm gonna put Kreitha on top of Stinky here, and I've got a little bit of box text for you. And
this is a dope map. Where did it come from?
I'm sharing it again. Good point. This map, like the one from Hyacinth's house, was released by DMDM Studios. You can find him at DMDM Studios on Twitter. This is one of his free maps that he released, and I really loved it so much that I had to use it. So if you happen to be watching DMDM Studios, thank you very, very much for this map. It is absolutely fantastic. So this box text, by the way, is my first sort of foray into utilizing ChatGPT. So this is actually AI generated. I wanted to throw that out there ahead of time just so that we all know exactly where this is coming from. So, in the midst of the dense forest under the light of the full moon, the black dragon Nightscale writhes in the grip of 3 enormous plant monsters. Calder in particular, you recognize shambling mounds. You fought them before, so do you, Kreitha. The dragon's scales kind of glisten in the moonlight. Most of his scales are matte. His eyes are glowing with fury as he struggles against his captors. His massive wings are entangled in the mesh net, preventing him from taking flight. Around Nightscale and around the monsters, 3 Orcish druids move in a rhythmic pattern, chanting a spell that seems to be draining the dragon's strength. The sound of their voices echoes through the forest, blending with a gentle murmur of a nearby stream. Despite his ferocity, Nightscale seems powerless against the forces of nature and magic that have taken hold of him. Vines are sort of beginning to wrap their way around him. He is considered grappled, prone, and restrained as we start combat.
Real quick, for no particular reason. Weight on Nightscale?
The weight of Nightscale. He
More
is
or less than 500 pounds?
I'm going to say more than 500 pounds.
Okay.
He's a big boy.
There are other orcs in the vicinity, and I'm going to go ahead and give everybody a round to cast anything you want to cast as you are approaching. So what do we got? Before you roll initiative, is there anything you want to do on your way to the site?
We saw him get hit by the net.
Yes.
The net probably doesn't weigh more than 500 pounds,
The
right?
net definitely does not weigh more than 500 pounds, yes.
Echo is digging in his bag as they're flying here and holds out a scroll to Calder. Says, I got this a while ago when we thought we were going to be sneaking through Xanathar's lair. Maybe we can use it now. And he hands him a scroll of levitate.
That's not a terrible idea.
I'm going to give you all like a minute or two to think about what you want to do before combat, and then we're going to go ahead and roll initiative.
And then right before combat, Echo is going to cast a mirror image on himself, like as they are starting combat.
No problem.
Yeah.
Ghost, you don't cast anything. You cast Draw Axe.
Hammer. It's a hammer, remember?
Oh, it is a hammer. You're right.
It's kind of like one of those weird. It's one of those hammers where it's like hammer on one side, but it's like definitely looks like it was made out of a pickaxe at one point.
Jeff, is Calder doing anything on approach?
Like, are with me running on fumes, am I going to cast any spells? No.
Fair enough.
Why not?
And then, Kretha, do you have anything to do on your way? Durgadin has been, of course, terrified at being in flight, but now the prospect of combat, both you and he have forgotten about the whole flying thing, and you are zoned, or he is zoned in on taking out these orcs and rescuing Nightscale. What are you up to?
Can I do a spike growth?
I am
around...
totally okay with that, yeah.
Okay, so somewhere around these orcs.
So, spike growth, remind me, because I don't recall.
What's in a 20-foot radius centered on a point within range twists and sprouts hard spikes and thorns. The area becomes difficult terrain for the duration. When a creature moves into or within the area, it takes 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet it travels.
Do you think
transformation of the ground is camouflaged to look natural? Any creature that can't see the area at the time the spell is cast must make a wisdom or perception check against your spell save DC to recognize the terrain as hazardous before entering it.
Now, they are all in the terrain as it starts, so they can tell that it has been spiked. However, does that circle seem like a reasonable spot?
Y'all, yes,
Perfect.
Indeed.
Okay, with that, let's roll initiative.
Cool.
Initiative.
So spike growth was a level 2 spell, so I do need to click one of my level 2 spells. All right. I think that's not a stupid thing to
Remember,
do.
somebody gets advantage.
Yes, first roll gets advantage, so Calder, if you want to roll that again.
Okay, let me bring that over here.
I'll take the 11.
Technically better.
I have
And
to
do
put all of my
recall, by the
effects on.
way,
Give me a moment.
Calder, Echo, and Ghost, you all have inspiration, so don't forget to use that.
No.
I want to give you more inspiration, but I can't give you more inspiration if you don't use your inspiration.
Hell yeah, I'll use it here. I want a higher initiative. Let me see what I got. Come on. Yeah, that's better.
Man, I really hate seeing it like sit on 20 for a second and roll over to 8.
Don't mind me. I just have to put on all my freaking effects that somehow just knock the fuck off every so often. Do 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 do.
And Echo has cast Mirror Image on himself. And very interestingly, because he's already under an illusion, it looks like there's a Barnabas on the broom, and also 3 echoes like fading in around him.
I need to check one thing real quick.
Go for it. And then
since I'm on top of Stinky, he is the same initiative as me.
Yes. I'm going to put Kreetha and Stinky at 12 just so that we don't end up with weird, like, I don't want people to be going in between the two of you, so I'm putting you both at 12. It doesn't really affect anything.
That's
the broom
fair.
have a set? Brooms are the normal brooms from the DMG, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and you are all coming in on flying brooms. Like, this is not...
Oh, damn, why has everybody else got better? Like, all the enemies, for the most part, have, like, really good initiatives. Damn you.
Em, are we good?
Yeah, I just had to make sure that my coding was correct.
Okay, so, one of the druids... Oh, no!
No, see, I have advantage on initiative, but I've been trying to get it to work, but it's being stupid.
Just go ahead and roll it again. You'll be fine. You can't do any worse.
Cannot do worse.
Although sometimes it feels like we could.
But unless you roll a natural 20, the enemy is going to go first. So there's your goal. Okay. Better technically.
DM, I do have something I want to cast on myself.
What's that?
I actually found something. I looked at the staff. I would like to cast Gaseous Form on myself.
Done. Shadow form, technically, but yes. Your
I
fly,
can.
Yeah, your fly speed is 30 and not 10 like normal for gaseous form. You become essentially a living shadow. Think tenebrous form for those of us who are vampire players.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I got a dumb question though, real quick.
Yeah.
Because everybody's on brooms, right? Does the gaseous form affect the broom, or are you just seeing the gaseous form on a broom?
It is an object in my possession, so everything gets absorbed into the shadow.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I was trying to figure out how funny this was going to be in my head.
Is it exactly like gaseous form? Because the last paragraph on gaseous form, the last line says the target can't attack or cast spells.
Oh, in that case, I won't cast on myself because that's a stupid spell.
Yeah, it's really more of an infiltration spell than a combat spell, to be fair.
Ooh.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
in that case, I know what I want to do. Instead, I intend to convert some spells into spell slots.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and you can do that on the way. That's no problem. As many as you want to shift around, go for it. We're going to start with one of the druids who is going to spend their entire action continuing the ritual. I am going to keep track of how many actions these druids make on this ritual. If that action or if that number of actions reaches a certain threshold, Nightscale will end up going the way of thunder. So that's one.
Okay.
There is a second druid that will also continue the ritual with its action.
That's 2.
Orc 4, how high up are you all flying at the moment?
I think we would be at least 60 if you said we were dodging arrows well.
Okay, so Orc 4, noticing that everything is spikes everywhere, is going to pull a javelin out and kind of look up at you all, but is not going to be able to reach you with it, so he's not going to do anything. We have an Eye of Grumpsh, who is going to go ahead and throw some bless around. And it's Echo's turn.
Okay, the broom speed is 50. I am going to, we did a short rest, I have all my key points back. I'm going to use a key point to bonus action Step of the Wind, so I'm going to move, dash, and Step of the Wind dash. So I'm going to move 150 feet.
God, monks are amazing. Highly underrated class.
Do I need to move 150 feet?
Consistently nerfed class.
100. I will just move this 100.
So let's do some description. What does it look like as Echo is making his way towards the field of battle?
Well, it looks like Barnabas holding onto this broom with 3 kind of ethereal echoes floating around him and phasing in and out. Some of them look like they're wearing his armor, some of them don't. Like it's weird 2 illusions being stacked on top of each other. And there's like this pickup of wind where he's centering his key and he just kind of like anime zooms past everybody else over to there. And you know what? Yep, that was some 60 feet up. We'll hold there, but he's being very obvious that he's there and is arriving and is going to start fucking with them.
As you get close, you see that the 3 shambling mounds are like holding Nightscale down, and the 3 druids around are clearly like lost in their ritual. They don't even necessarily notice that you're there.
He's gonna call out loudly in Dwarven, "The fuck are y'all doing with my dragon?"
I love
Maybe
it.
also trying to get, Nightscale to fight a little harder.
The orcs are going to be the orcs inside the spike growth are just gonna start like yelling obscenities at you in Orcish. At all of you, because everyone is too high up for them to be able to attack with their javelins. They're just going to impotently yell at you. The 3rd druid will take that action. That is 3 total so far to continue the ritual. The shambling mounds are all just maintaining their grapple on Nightscale. They are clearly not trying to kill him. They are clearly not trying to damage him. They are just holding him still. Kretha, it's your turn.
All right, let's start shooting some of these people as I'm flying around them.
I love this idea.
All right, so...
And it turns out a crossbow has a much larger range than a javelin.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Also, I have gravity on my side. Okay, so what was the thing I needed to do to get the extra thingy that we did it last time?
Let me take a look at your... Did I put in a... I didn't. Of course I didn't. So you're going to want to click the -5 button before you grab the attack. And then I will add the +10 damage, because in between the 2 sessions, I really should have made you a separate attack, but I did not.
All right.
In fact, why don't I just go ahead and alter that right now? I'm going to go ahead... And I'm going to make the damage bonus that, and I'm going to go ahead and make I'm going to go ahead and make your attack bonus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There. Going forward, unless you specifically tell me that you're not using sharpshooter, you're automatically on sharpshooter. Go.
Cool. Well, that works 6.
Oh, absolutely hits it.
Bung him up.
For 23 points of damage, you drop it in 1. Attack number 2, please.
Okay. Oh my god, look at the blood smear. Oh, that's new.
That is new.
So good.
I've been leveling up our production value just a little bit.
Zoom in on that shit.
It's like shooting fish in a barrel with a shotgun.
Maximum damage. Absolutely destroys it.
I think that's the 2 I get.
They're different blood patterns too.
That's hilarious.
So tell me what this
I
looks
love it.
like, Jen. Kretha is just raining death down on these poor orcs that can't even move.
Kretha is on top of Stinky, who's still doing this, and is kind of coming and kind of doing a circle around. So I guess we are maybe here now?
Sure.
and just joink, joink, and like I'm from above, and it's just literally hitting and going right through the top of the head on each one of these. Like, so you're getting like a crossbow bolt, just like that.
And again, they're shouting orcish curses at you, but they are completely unable to do anything because their javelin range just isn't as big or as long as your crossbow range.
It's also really hard to run away right now, too, isn't it?
Calder, it's your turn.
All right. I have a very important question.
Yes.
Mechanically speaking, what is happening to Nightscale is he is grappled, yes?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm going to use the broom to fly 60 feet in his direction.
Yep.
Cool. He's within 30 feet of me as the map cares about it.
Yep.
I'm going to use a bonus action to telekinetically pull him. He may willingly fail the save involved and thus move 5 feet in front toward me, and therefore out of the grapple.
Are you what's the weight limit on telekinesis? Is there a weight limit?
There is none. There's just
awesome.
a strength check.
That's so cool. Okay, so you pull him up. Okay, I love this. They are going to continue holding on to him and sort of like begin to rise with him. But
per telekinesis, he moves 5 feet. Per the rules of grappling, if a person moves 5 feet out as an external effect, they're removed from the grapple.
Is that even true if the monsters have reach?
The rules do not make a distinction.
They have
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
okay.
I mean, if you're grappling a creature and you have a 10-foot reach,
I'm gonna say
technically be grabbing them if they are 10 feet away.
They can reinitiate the grapple.
Yeah, I'm gonna make
on their turn.
I'm gonna make a quick ruling here. I will say that yes, it breaks their. You managed to rip Nightscale up out of their grip. He still is tangled in the net, so he cannot take flight. But yes, you are able to tear him out of their grip.
That's where the rest of my action will take place.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna cast Wall of Fire, and I will spend my last remaining spell point to turn it into a wall of acid.
Of course you will. Of course you will. And where is that wall of acid going?
It's going to be a ring with the effect pointing outward, but centered in such a way that Nightscale's immune to acid anyway.
Yes, he is.
But critically, I want to make sure that the net is caught in the acid.
Okay, I like that. So, remind me of the radius of this wall of acid.
It is 20 feet, but it is up to 20 feet.
Okay, I'm making a circle on the map right now.
Or the
it is a 20 feet in diameter.
In diameter, so 10-foot radius. Got it. I would say that seems to be about right.
Actually, if that's the case, I can just point. The effect won't reach the druids anyway, so I'm just going to make the ring pointed inward.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so everything inside of that ring takes acid, which should capture all of the shambling mounds and
the net. Yeah.
The net and everything else touching Nightscale. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm going to force some dex saves because that's funny.
Yes, the wall appears. Each creature within its area must make the dex save, so go for it.
Does the wall block line of
Absolutely
sight?
fails. Absolutely fails. Absolutely fails. All three of them fail. Deal that sweet damage.
Opaque. I don't know if it's tall enough to block all of Nightscale line of sight wise.
How tall is it? It's 20 feet high, so yes, for the moment, unless you're directly above it, it will block line of sight to Nightscale.
Okay. But I don't know if they need line of sight for the ritual, but it's always good to cut them off. Yeah, are you also does it deal damage to objects within the area?
Oh yeah.
It deals acid damage.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Everything in the area. It would strictly deal acid damage to Nightscale, but Nightscale doesn't give a shit.
Nightscale is immune to acid damage, so that is perfect. Yes. So you dealt all that damage. Do you have anything else for me? That was a hell of a turn.
That was literally everything I could do except a reaction.
Awesome. Nightscale is next. I'm gonna say that the net begins to burn around him, so he begins to kind of free himself, but he's not quite there yet on his turn. I will say that he will be free at his moment on his next turn. However, now that he's free enough to be able to move his head around, he's going to take a deep breath, and though he can't see necessarily where everything is because the wall came around him, he knows where his nearest tormentors are, and he is going to release his breath weapon on Shambling Mound 2, and it will go ahead and go through to the Druid of the Old Ways 2. So we're going to go ahead and...
Fuck him up.
And we're going to go ahead and fuck him up.
Fuck him up. Fuck him up.
My boy!
Absolutely fails. So the Shambling Mound fails its dex save, taking 52 points of acid damage. The second one succeeds, but still takes half of 47, so 23 points of damage. Excellent. Wonderful. No notes.
My spoken line would just be, Echo, kick their asses.
Do a kick.
This war chief is gonna take some fucking damage as he begins to exit. So let's see. Spike growth.
He's not a coward. For the sake of mechanics, it's better to just make him move the appropriate distance and then calculate how many d4s to roll.
Yes, he is going to take. He's going to move 15 feet through the terrain, so he's going to take six d4 points of piercing damage. Jen, I believe under the spike growth spell, you should be able to see one of those little blood drops. I would love for you to grab that blood drop and drop it on the Orc War Chief 3 times.
Okay.
You can right click after clicking the blood drop to add dice.
And it'll just add the dice, yeah. So we want a total of 6d4 points of damage. Excellent. So he manages to force his way out and is going to sort of start making his way through the ruined building towards Nightscale. And that, unfortunately for him, is his turn. This Shambling Mound is going to go ahead and take an attack on Nightscale. And it will miss.
It's a little busy dissolving.
Yeah, it's kind of dissolving. Yeah, so it's going to try.
Still a dragon.
It's going to try to reach out its tendrils and wrap Nightscale back up, but those tendrils that it's extending are melting under the force of the acid. Ghost, it's your turn.
Okay, so I'm not sorry about what's about to happen.
I always love it when you start a turn like that.
Okay. So, Orc 5.
Yes.
So Ghost is like flying in and is just gonna like pull out his axe while the spike growth goes down, like rose up around these guys, and is going to stand up on the broom and then just jump off of it, axe for hammer first into this guy.
Excellent. Go ahead and move where you're moving. You're not moving through the terrain.
No,
I'll be landing on top of him because that's how it's going.
That would be 5d6 fall damage.
We also missed a trigger at the end of the Shambling Mound's turn.
What was that?
Because it takes the damage after it ends its turn within the affected space.
Go ahead and roll that damage, please.
Well, it makes the save and then takes damage. So.
Yes.
And which one was it? Shambling Mound
2.
What? 2? Okay.
Meanwhile, Ghost, go ahead and make your attack. It fails.
So The thing is that Ghost is going to be like jumping off of this thing, and as he's coming down is when the rage is going to start. So visually, this guy is going to see the kind of stuttering, white, pale, ghostly shape of Ghost jump at him hammer first before a giant spectral bear bursts out of Ghost's form and then like mimics that same motion, like a little bit before and a little bit after, kind of like a really weird like time stutter before like enclosing in on Ghost like a new set of armor that's just gonna like it closes in exactly the same point as I'm assuming whatever hit I get.
Let's do it.
If I do a hit, good.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah. We do a hit, good. We did. Oh, hey, I'm counting this as the first crit of the
Yes,
game
I agree.
for the sake
And
A 10.
legally distinct phrase, describe to me how this happens. You've already given me great description so far, but with a natural 20, you tell me what happens. And go ahead and roll the damage as well, because I want to leave the blood stain.
I'm gonna do damage.
Wow. Wow.
It didn't make the dice roll.
Here, I'm going to move you back.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to make all the dices go.
So much fucking damage. Tell me what this looks like.
So Ghost lands full on hammer first on this guy. And it is the type of hammer first where the hammer goes like, I'm assuming this guy is facing, because when you hear a blood curdling bear scream, you're gonna look at the very least. So the hammer is going to hook behind this guy's skull, bash up, and I'm going to use the force of hitting this guy to further jump to the next guy.
I would like you to go ahead and make an intimidation check. No action with advantage, please.
Just, I do a hurt on a person, and then I do moves.
Yeah, you've made an impression. And I'm going to say that with your strength and your athletics, you land on top of this orc, and you're able to leap to the other one without having to take the necessary spike growth damage.
Unrelated, if I was using my strength instead of my intimidation, that would be 4 higher.
Amazing. So you said you're moving to one of the other ones, yeah? Where do you land?
Yeah, I'm gonna move to orc 4. I want to consider this a jump because I can make that.
Are you sure you don't want to land slightly out of the spike growth?
No, because I'm going to be using them like stepping stones.
It's the floor is lava, the real game. Got it.
Although, you did jump down 60 feet.
We'll deal with fall damage in a moment. I want to finish up this action first.
No. So that's the other reason why I'm not. If I'm going to take fall damage, it's because I beefed it directly into thorns. Not because I hit the ground. The ground doesn't matter. It's the pointy bits that do.
Besides, I think you'll find that falling damage is non-magical bludgeon.
Yes, but it's not actually. It's only attacks that are halved. Okay. I looked that up specifically in preparation for this.
Technically, fall damage is an untyped damage that is called fall.
Yes,
and it doesn't count.
Make your attack on. Make your attack on the second one.
Yes, I'm finding my action tab.
I swear to God, if you roll another 20.
God. Fish in a barrel.
It would be so funny if I did, though.
Not a 20, but it does hit. Go ahead and make that damage. Still, doesn't matter that it's not a crit. You take him down. So
the first guy got the flat end of the hammer. This guy got the sharp end. And it's just going to pile drive right through the skull. And, like, we're going to land in a way that we're going to grind this dude's face into the spike growth. Not because it's good, but because it hurts me in real life.
Give me an athletics check, please. And I'm going to use that to determine how much fall damage you take. Because you did fall a long way.
And I did jump on a dude, though. So, like, it was a soft landing.
That's what the athletics check is for.
Yes.
Okay, a 12. I'm gonna say
You should have advantage on that because you're raging.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
you
fair.
do. That's true. So I'm not gonna roll these yet.
There's the second one.
A
Slightly
14.
better.
Okay, I'm gonna
Why is
say
it not giving me advance?
you take
that
10 points of damage from the fall as you're bouncing back and forth between these, and I
Just
think
one down.
that seems fairly reasonable to me.
Listen, I fucking Mario'd that shit. Okay.
You literally.
But your ankles are gonna hate you tomorrow.
My ankles hate me today.
Bonus, it's a bonus action to rage. Never mind.
Yeah.
It's a bonus action rage, and I have 2 attacks, and they're hurtful. Yay.
We've got another
Oh.
shambling mound, unless you have something else.
I don't think they're that hurtful. I mean, they're not complaining.
We did get that short rest.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
It didn't auto uncheck my action surge.
It doesn't do that for short rests, only long rests.
Jeff, if you would be so kind as
My action surge is short rest.
Yeah, that's what
Jeff,
You
if
have
you
to
would be
make-
so kind as to force the save on Shambling Mound 1 and then do the damage one way or the other. Yeah, totally fails.
They're plants. They don't like acid.
The two I rolled 2 1s there. There should be 2 additional damage.
Okay,
So 24.
I'll put another 2 damage onto Shambling Mound 1. One moment.
And there should be 1 more damage on Shambling Mound
2.
2. Yeah, sorry, I missed that.
All good. It's all good. Orc 2 is so overwhelmed by the fact that 4 of his comrades just died like instantly. He is going to throw himself prone and begin gibbering.
Oh, side note. None of these dudes technically bled.
Oh, because the ones Kretha shot did.
The ones that I did not bleed.
You sucked it up into your hammer.
I sucked that blood up. I got 10 hit points out of it. It's very nice.
We're gonna go ahead and say that the Druid of the Old Ways 2 has been sort of knocked out of its reverie and is going to, let's see, is going to throw a fairy fire up toward Echo. So Echo, if you would make a dexterity save, please. You're looking for a 16.
Okay.
That is
Yes.
more than a 16. The fairy fire fails.
He's on this broom and he swings all the way around and back up on top of the broom.
Druid of the Old Ways 3 is going to continue the ritual so that the tendrils are still sort of trying to grasp at Nightscale's legs as he is sort of shaking himself free. We are at 4 actions.
Yeah.
The Eye of Grumsh is going to move over here and is going to cast Spiritual Weapon. So we're going to go ahead and take an attack on Echo. Because Echo looks like Barnabas. A natural 1.
Okay, yeah, no. It doesn't even hit one of the illusions around him.
So essentially, the orc cleric sort of extends a hand forward and a spear, because that's Grumsh's favorite weapon, sort of flies out towards Echo and his illusions and is just effortlessly dodged.
Yeah, Echo doesn't even move. It just flies between like an illusion head and his head, like not hitting any of them.
Echo, you are currently circling above a massive wall of acid that is eating away at these shambling mounds, and you can see Nightscale beginning to break free. What do you do?
Okay. I'm measuring distance. Don't move me yet. 30 over there. Okay. Using using the broom to fly over here. And then
taking the gentle sidestep as to not fly through the wall.
I'm
The wall's only 20 feet up. He can absolutely fly over it, no problem.
Oh,
looking down into the wall, seeing that the net is being broken free and all the plants are dissolving, he's like, cool, that's under control. And he hops off the broom midair, slides it into the bag as he's falling, and he does a fucking flip and lands, because 5d6 of fall damage, max is 30, and he can ignore 30 of fall damage with a monk's slow fall.
And it's only 13. So yeah, you're able. Are you gonna superhero land, or are you like ducking and rolling?
He's going. He looks like Barnabas. He's gonna land solidly on 2 feet and just go to punch this
Do it.
Druid of the Old Ways in the face. What number is this dude? This is the number 1. Do. I cannot look at everything at once. Come on, work with me here.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Everything, everywhere.
Absolutely hits.
Cool. I'm gonna need a Constitution save for a stunning strike.
Can you force it, or should I roll it?
You gotta roll it. DC 15.
It will manage it.
Okay. So that's a key point. Second attack gonna come up with the adamantine foot to kick her.
Kick in the face.
Definitely hits.
And then spend a key point, flurry of blows.
Nice.
To do another unarmed strike.
Still hits.
This one I'm going to need a dexterity save, DC 15.
It will pass that as well.
Okay. And then last strike.
God. So many attacks.
And I'm going to need a strength save on this one.
Now that is a little bit worse for this person. The strength save fails.
Gets absolutely kicked in the middle of the stomach and sent flying 15 feet backwards.
5, 10, 15, right to the edge of the stream.
And he is going to turn and get in, using the rest of the movement, to get into this person's face.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Is that it for you?
Yep.
That guy's like, why you be here now? Go away.
Orc 3, I guess, is going to stand its ground because it doesn't really have a choice. It's going to throw a javelin, like, weakly at Ghost. It'll hit for what it's worth. For all of 0 damage.
Did I take falling damage?
You did. You took, how much was it?
Should have been 11, was it?
You took 13 falling damage.
13 falling damage. Okay, so let me make a question here.
Sure.
Was that before or after I hit the guy?
I'm going to say it was after you hit the guy.
Okay. So I took 3 points of damage because
because
when I hit the
you're
guy, I got 10 temporary hit points. And then I bounced the next thing, I got 10 temporary hit points back.
Yes, so the javelin does not do shit to you. It hits you.
I just want to make sure that I have the correct amount of wounds on my body, which is 5.
Does not do a thing. Druid of the Old Ways 1 is like, oh shit, this isn't good. Oh man, okay, so we're definitely doing this. Let's go ahead and conjure an elemental. So it's going to conjure an air elemental. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that. Noting, of course, that it is having to maintain concentration on this.
Yep. Hey, she's spending her action doing that, not doing the ritual.
Yes, that's true. So I'm going to roll initiative for this air elemental.
Just because she got kicked the shit out of and shoved backwards, you know.
Air elemental will be at 9. Awesome. Shambling Mound 3 is going to go ahead and take a multi-attack on Nightscale. Going to try to bring it back down to Earth. He will it'll miss. And it will miss again. Nightscale will not be denied. He will not be held down again.
They were really banking a lot on the starting this combat scenario grappled.
Yes, you are absolutely right. Kreetha, it's your turn. You and Stinky.
Shambling Mound 3 has to make a save at the end of its turn.
Oh yes.
Damage.
Jeff, go ahead and do the thing for Shambling Mound 3 while Kreetha's doing her thing.
Kreetha. Needs to scroll up.
Let's see.
So much damage.
One more
Yeah.
damage because there's a 1 in there, so 28 damage.
28 points of damage to Shambling Mound 3. Got it. Done.
All right, Orc 3.
A rare miss.
A
Fair.
rare miss.
Gasp.
He's shaking too hard, and like,
Yeah, apparently. And like she's flying, so she's actually going to take a pass at Orc 2 now instead of
Be
taking a
careful,
double
Orc
shot.
2 is prone, but you managed to hit anyway.
I managed to hit anyway.
Dropped
Yeah.
to 19. Still hits on a 6.
Look, just because they're weak.
So this thing is on the ground with its hands behind its head, like gibbering because it just saw a bunch of its comrades die like instantly, and is just pinned to the ground by Kretha's bolt.
Choink. And then I'm basically we're going to keep going this way.
I love how many different blood splatters there are. It's so good.
The blood spatters are definitely a fun new addition.
Calder, it's your turn.
Let's see.
So the druid has just summoned an air elemental, and there is the other druid right in front of you, as well as the Eye of Grumsh, and of course, I assume you're maintaining concentration on your Wall of Acid.
I am going to.
you've got cantrips, right?
I do have cantrips. I also have things that are better than cantrips.
Like
I am
fists.
going like fists. I think my wisest course of action is to maintain the concentration on the fire, but I'm gonna do something fun. I'm gonna use one of the spells stored in the ring. I'm gonna cast Grease in the exact same center of the where Nightscale is again,
Love it.
because Nightscale is trying to take off, and
Quick,
thus isn't on the ground, right?
yes, that's true, but quick note, Grease is a concentration spell.
It
Yes.
is not.
It's not really.
No.
Then that's
No.
fine. Then that's fine. I'm gonna look it up because I trust you.
Double checked it. It just turns something into. It turns an air.
It is just a 1 minute duration. You're absolutely right. Okay, so you drop Grease. They all immediately have to make dex saves. Fail. It's prone.
Flippy grass.
Fail. It's prone.
Heh.
One of them succeeds, so 3 succeeds. Can you apply the prone, or do I have to?
I can apply it.
Excellent. So 2 and 1 are both prone.
Life sucks.
Amazing. Amazing. Anything else for Calder?
I will spend the ones. I'll use my bonus I will use a bonus action to convert a spell slot into some spell points,
Okay.
because I need to do that first because I'm out otherwise. I've used my action. I've used a bonus action. I'll use my movement to just moving. I think. Oh no, I know exactly what I want to get. I want to put the wall of acid between me and the air elemental.
That makes sense to me.
You're still 60 feet up, right?
Yeah. Basically, I want to be not the attack of opportunity.
So Nightscale is unable to recharge his breath weapon, but we're gonna go ahead and have him make a full attack on Shambling Mound 2.
Right, because this is his next turn.
It has advantage.
Yeah, has the next.
And he has advantage because it's prone. Yes, that's correct. So his multi-attack is 1 bite and 2 claws. We'll start with the bite.
Oh god, just a full multi-attack with advantage.
Yes. Yes, that is correct.
I'm gonna punch the dragon though.
Maybe we will someday. Tonight
Oh,
he's
and
our.
my ability to punch a dragon. I was like, no, you can't punch a dragon.
Okay, so one of the shambling mounds, Nightscale is able to, through claws and teeth, just shred one of them into its component parts, which immediately begin to dissolve in the acid of the acid wall. So that is shambling mound 2.
He's down.
Do you see the
It's
do you see the green
it's a
blood?
green
I love it. He has one more claw attack before he takes his move. So we're going to go ahead and use it on the other prone one. A 1 and a 2. It's okay. And he will break free and begin to fly. He's going to fly directly through the wall of acid so that like he bursts out of the wall of acid. I am going to get an attack of opportunity from each of the shambling mounds. The prone one, I think you don't get disadvantage on attacks, right?
You do.
You do. Yep, you do.
Yep.
But it manages to hit one of them. Hold on, give me a sec. This might be important.
God, how hurt is Nightscale?
And then Nightscale is going to go ahead and make a strength check as well. And just barely, it reaches out at him. It grabs around like his hind leg, and he manages to kick out of it. We do still have Shambling Mound 3 to take an attack, though. Which does hit.
Okay.
So it's strength versus strength.
Oh!
Ooh.
Not great.
He could get there. He could get there.
Come on.
And he
Yes!
does get there. So
Beat sick, motherfucker!
So both of them, as he is leaving, both of them reach out tendrils, wrap around his legs, and he like yanks them forward a little bit and snaps the vines off of himself. And with a roar of fury and victory, he breaks free of them and gets aloft.
Right underneath Calder.
The air elemental.
Like, there's just a passing moment where the Nightscale and Calder lock eyes, and it's like, whatever plans Nightscale had to murder the shit out of Calder later, gently forgotten.
So the air elemental will fly up towards Echo.
So hold on, I have my mirror images up.
Yep.
So it hit me. So now I have to roll a d20. I have 3 of them up. It hits an image instead.
Awesome. It does have a multi-attack, so it's going to take a second attack.
Yep.
But is unable to manage that one. So you're able to confuse it with the sort of shifting different echoes of Echo that are aloft with you.
LOL.
The war chief is going to kind of burst through the wall Kool-Aid Man style because this building is clearly ruined. And is gonna go ahead and throw a spear at Kreetha. It's at disadvantage because Kreetha is high up enough to where it's gonna be outside the usual range of the spear. And it just doesn't get high enough. He can't throw the spear far enough to hit Kreetha on the magical flying Stinky. Ghost, it's your turn.
Okay. Let's see.
Magical Flying Stinky needs to be in the tagline of this episode somewhere.
Ghost is when Orc 3 threw the javelin at Ghost, I'm assuming that Ghost was just like landing, and then he feels the like tink, and then just his head snaps up, kind of like in that anime style, like necks don't bend like that though. And like his completely solid black eyes with like the dark veins as like he's sucking blood out of a dude through his axe, like, are just like climbing up his face, just like staring at this dude right in the face, and then just launches himself towards that guy. like a creature. Very much specific. Like, Ghost is not a person. Ghost is a creature now.
Like a nightmare.
So
Like a horrible nightmare.
You're moving 10 feet through the growth. This is half damage, so I'm going to go ahead and roll that.
Can I make a jump?
Yes. Give me an athletics check. I know there's rules for jumping, but give me an athletics check. Let's see how this goes.
Athletics.
Currently, you're
I
looking at
am
taking 6
raging.
points of damage, which you already have the temporary HP to absorb that, right?
I'm just making sure that I have my advantage on it.
Yep.
Athletics checks.
With a 21, I'll give it to you. You're able to jump. You're able to jump forward through the spikes. And again, you've got a pile of temporary HP, so the spikes don't bother you. Make your attack.
Yeah, so in Elvish, Ghost like growls at this guy, try better, and just whack. Hammer to the jaw.
Yep. Absolutely hits.
Scroll.
And takes it down in 1. Give me a description.
Oh yeah, no, so fully like it's do better, and then it's just like hammer swing. It's that like slow motion of like the hammer's coming up, so like the face like moves and wiggles, and there's like 3 or 4 teeth going. It's very good. And then Ghost just like, how much damage am I gonna take if I just walk out?
2d4 per 5 feet.
Yeah, so 1, 2, you'd take 4d4 points of damage to take the shortest route out.
Ghost isn't smart.
And it's also piercing damage specifically, dear lord. Okay, so that's
1, 2, 3.
It's 25.
that's 25 feet.
5. So 5 times 2, 10d4, but halved.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, I have 10 temporary hit points. Let me put that back in.
So 14 points of damage, minus 10 for your temporary HP. You will take 4 points of actual damage as
That's
you
fine.
walk
I'll
through
take it.
this. Now,
Yeah.
The blighted shambling mound. Echo, you're still high up in the air, right?
No, I'm on the ground.
You're on the ground now?
The wall is opaque, so I don't know if you can see me or not.
It's
The wall
gonna
is opaque.
it's gonna move forward. So go ahead, Calder. Go ahead and give me that deck save.
It's prone.
It will take half its movement to stand up.
Okay.
And then, yeah, since it's moving through the wall, it has to make the save again.
Real quick.
It fails.
Just real quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's after you're outside of the short range, then it's disadvantage for thrown weapons, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna take that javelin that the guy threw at me, and I'm gonna throw it at the orc war chief.
Do it.
That'll be 22 damage.
Excellent. Right. Because of the extra bit, yeah. You definitely hit with that javelin.
That shouldn't have had that extra bit on it. It should just be 5 damage.
That's fine. Okay.
Or just 6 damage, not 9. Sorry.
We're gonna take a multi-attack on Echo. Absolutely fails.
Yep.
There's a natural 20.
Hold on, still have mirror image up. Now I have to be 8 or higher, and it hits the image. Nope, that hits me. Mm-hmm.
F.
Mm-hmm.
And it is going to. I need a Constitution save from you, please.
Ooh, okay. Thank you.
You are looking for a 14, so you will manage to keep from being engulfed, and that is the end of the round. Yeah, it was going to try to like eat you. So at this time, because the party has access to flying, I want to really quick. We're at the end of the round. We're about to get back to the top of the stack, but I want to know: is the goal to kill all of the enemies, or is the goal to escape?
That fucking air elemental can outpace us in the sky.
Not if we kill its summoner.
There.
And if you kill its summoner, to be clear, if you kill the summoner, the air elemental doesn't dissolve. It simply goes mad and attacks anything around it. So if the goal is to escape, I'm willing to do some descriptive mediation and get us out of this encounter.
Yeah, I think Echo's like coughing up blood again. So he'd be like,
It's a familiar feeling to him at this point.
And
So
he heard fucking Nightscale take off into the sky, right?
So
Yeah.
let's start with who takes out the druid that's controlling the air elemental.
Probably Calder.
I feel like, honestly, for me, the person most likely is Kreetha. But Ghost
That's
is
true.
Yeah.
That is true. She's
because
up next
she's the one
is
with
a target.
the crossbow, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So why don't we go ahead and say that Kreetha is able to put a bolt through the head of that druid, and as the air elemental goes berserk, Echo is able to utilize the distraction to get back to his broom, and with Nightscale at the lead, able to get away.
Yeah, disengages, runs, gets on the broom, and takes off.
I think that's a great way to end this encounter. You are able to rescue Nightscale, and as you're flying, Nightscale kind of flies next to where Calder's at, and in midair he says,
I believe if I'm using my action to dash, I can actually keep up with Nightscale.
Yes, you can. And he sort of turns his head to look at you, and he says, "And now I owe you my life. Will the humiliation never end?"
Somehow, Calder will look up at it with a fairly draconic smile and will say, "Somehow I doubt it."
He'll say, "I am indebted to you, and I owe you, but I will never forgive the insult."
I will never. I would not accept your forgiveness if you offered it.
And with that, friends, we're going to go ahead and take our 10-minute break. Wow, amazing. So much stuff to talk about already, but it is right now 8:03 p.m. We will be back at about 8:14 p.m. Pacific time, and we're going to keep going, so stick around. And if you're here, please do stick around for the break. We've got some wonderful art from our very own Gale.